Hello. And welcome back to the Umbrella Academy. In this lecture we will discuss IUPAC nomenclature of alkenes. Naming alkenes follow the same rules as for alkanes. Step 1 is that we identify the longest parent chain. But that must include the alkene pi bond. Step 2 is that we identify the substituents present. Step 3 is that we number the parent chain. So that double bond gets the lowest locant number. Step 4 is that we put everything together having substituents in alphabetical order. Step 5 is that we change the suffix in the parent chain from -ane to -ene. To understand this, let us write alkane here on left side and the corresponding alkene on the right side. Consider this alkane and compare it with a corresponding carbon chain on alkene side having a double bond. On this alkane, the parent chain is highlighted in orange color. On the alkene side, the parent chain is also highlighted in orange color. Except that the parent chain here contains the double bond. In the next step, we identify the substituents. The two substituents present are highlighted in green. Likewise, in the case of alkene, the substituents are highlighted in green. In case of alkanes, we number the parent carbon chain, so that substituents get lowest locant sum. In alkenes, we number the parent chain so that carbon-carbon double bond gets the lowest locant. Here, at C2, we have methyl group and at C6 we have ethyl group. The root word for 9 carbons is non. Suffix -ane is used because no unsaturation is present. Putting substituents in alphabetical order, we get 6-ethyl, 2-methylnonane. Here at C3, we have propyl group and at C7 we have methyl group. For 8 carbons, root word is oct and suffix for double bond is -ene. We also write locant of double bond. So we write 1-ene. Putting substituents in alphabetical order, we write 7-methyl, 3-propyl oct, 1-ene. Another way to write the same is 7-methyl, 3-propyl, 1-octene. To understand the naming of alkenes further, consider this molecule. Let us do the numbering from right side. For 6 carbons, root word is hex. Double bond gets number 3. And chloro substituent gets number 5. If we do the numbering from left side, again we have 6 carbon parent chain, so that root word is still hex. Double bond gets same number 3. But chloro substituent gets number 2. Thus this is not correct. This one is chosen. So we write the IUPAC name as hex 3-ene and in the prefix we write 2-chloro. We can also write 2-chloro, 3-hexene. Consider this molecule. If we start numbering from the right side, we get parent chain of 6 carbons. So the root word will be hex. The double bond gets number 2. At C2, we have bromo substituent. At C4 we have isopropyl substituent. From carbon 4 if we move upwards we have this as carbon 5 and carbon 6. There is no change in parent carbon chain. We have root word hex. The double bond still has number 2. At C2 we have bromo group. At C4 we now have ethyl group. At C5 we have methyl group. So we have 3 substituents here, compared to only 2 substituents in this case. So we don't choose this, but this parent chain with more number of substituents is chosen. So the IUPAC name is hex 2-ene. We arrange the substituents in alphabetical order. We get 2-bromo, 4-ethyl, 5-methyl hex 2-ene. Or 2-hexene. Consider this molecule. And check out how the numbering has been started from bottom carbon. The double bond gets number 4. If we start the numbering from the top, the double bond still gets number 4. But the substituents get higher numbers. We have 3, 6, 7, 7 tetramethyl oct, 14. Which is not preferred over 2, 2, 3, 6 tetramethyl oct, 14. Consider this molecule. The numbering is correctly started from left side, so that double bond gets number 2. Maintaining the alphabetical order, we get 5, bromo, 2, chlorohex, 2, ene. Let us now discuss some important points regarding the naming of cyclic alkenes. Consider this 6-membered cyclic alkane. It is called cyclohexane. Notice the infix word cyclo is used as prefix before root word. If we take a corresponding molecule with a double bond, it is called as cyclohex, 1-ene. Now if we attach a methyl substituent at some point to this cyclohexane molecule, then numbering will start from the carbon bearing that substituent, so that it is called as 1-methylcyclohexane. Or simply methylcyclohexane because number 1 location of substituent is automatically understood. When a similar substituent is placed on cyclohexene molecule, the numbering starts from the double bonded carbon, which then proceeds in a manner, so as to give lowest possible locant to substituents. Thus, this molecule is named as cyclohex, 1-ene and prefix is 4-methyl. Notice that if we start the numbering from the double bonded carbon like this, the methyl gets number 3, rather than 4 as in previous numbering, but the problem is, now the carbon-carbon double bond is between C1 and C6. It should be between C1 and C2. So this type of numbering the molecule is wrong. To understand this concept further, consider this molecule. The numbering is correctly done so that double bond is between C1 and C2. Ethyl gets number 3, and chlorine gets number 5. If we do the numbering in reverse order, the double bond still remains between C1 and C2, but chlorine gets number 4 and ethyl number 6, and this is higher locant sum compared to the numbering opted here. Thus, this anticlockwise numbering is correct. Putting the substituents in alphabetical order, the name is 5-chloro-3-ethyl-cyclohex, 1-ene. This is an important example. As per the numbering shown here, double bond is correctly between C1 and C2. At C3 we have ethyl and C5 we have methyl. The sum of locant is 8. If we do the numbering in reverse order like this, we still have double bond between C1 and C2. At C3 we have methyl and C5 we have ethyl. The sum of locants is 8, which is same as for previous way of numbering. In such a situation, the alphabetical order is followed for preference. So here ethyl beats methyl in alphabetical priority. Thus, this anticlockwise numbering is correct because it gives lowest locant to ethyl. Putting the substituents in alphabetical order, we get 3-ethyl, 5-methylcyclopent, 1-ene. We will now discuss the changes recommended in the IUPAC 2013 Blue Book. We have seen that for unsaturation, the parent chain must include the double bond. This rule has been modified. As per new rule, the priority is now given to the length of the chain rather than to unsaturation. To understand these changes, let us name this molecule as per old rules. We will number it like this, so that double bond is included in the longest chain and gets lowest locant. Notice that longest chain has 5 carbons and not 6 because double bond has to be included in the longest chain. The name of this molecule is 2-ethylpent, 1-ene. As per new rules, the priority is given to length of chain and not to the unsaturation. The parent chain is highlighted in blue. Thus, the numbering is done from right side so that double-bonded substituent gets lowest locant, therefore, the name can be written as 3-methylidene hexane. Consider this second example. The longest chain is highlighted in blue, which includes the double bond. The numbering is opted from that side so that double bond gets lowest locant. At C3 propyl is present and at C7 methyl is present. Putting substituents in alphabetical order, the name can be written as 7-methyl, 3-propyl oct, 1-ene. As per 2013 modification, priority is given to length of chain. The longest chain is highlighted in blue. The double-bonded carbon moiety is now a substituent. The numbering is done so that substituents get lowest locant sum. This double-bonded substituent at C6 is called ethanol. At C2 we have methyl. Putting the substituents in alphabetical order, we can write the name as 6-ethanol, 2-methyl nonane. If you don't want to miss out important lectures, then subscribe and press bell icon for notifications of new lecture uploads.